Doing things alone hits completely different. I remember back in middle school, high school, even elementary school, when the most I've had was acquaintances, and I didn't really have any friends. And to be honest, back then it was pretty rough. I looked at the other kids who had a lot of friends, and they made plans every weekend. They would talk about those plans every class and say things like, yo, you want to go do this on the weekend? You want to go do that? And, even though I had some people I was cool with, acquaintances, we never really got to that point where, I could say these things to them. So I never really got close to them like that. And back then, I remember I was extremely depressed. And yeah, it kind of sucked. And another thing about me back then was that I didn't enjoy doing things alone. And even when I did do things alone, I would always say, this would be so much better if I had a friend to do it with. Even if it meant like playing video games. I used to be addicted to League of Legends, back in high school. And I went to high school from 2015 to 2019. So yeah, high school, I didn't really have any friends to play video games with. I remember when Fortnite came out, I felt really happy because my cousin, me and my brother, we would play with our cousin and his friend group. And, that was the first time I felt like I had a group of friends, even though it was pretty much my brother and my cousin and, just his friends, his few friends. But we all got really, we all got along well. And ever since then, after that, I kind of didn't enjoy playing video games alone, even though I did it. I always say, like, I want to find people to play with. And it's not even just video games. It's just things in general, movies, going to movie theaters, going to restaurants. I could never go to a fast food restaurant alone, way back. Back in these days, I could not even go to a McDonald's alone, let alone, an actual sit-down restaurant. But listen, I got a bunch of friends, early college, around there, early to mid-college, and I became a bit too dependent. I enjoyed this friendship thing too much, and, eventually it got to the point where I kind of just realized, wait, I'm kind of too dependent on these people. Like, I would wake up and be like, yo, want to play some League? Yo, want to go hang out outside? Want to go do this? And, like, I wasn't enjoying my own company. I was not enjoying my own company. I would always think about what other people are doing. I would always want to do things with other people. And even though I technically had friends back then, oh my God, that plane is loud. Even though I technically had friends back then, how do I put this? Bro, that thing is so loud. I was not enjoying my own company, and it got to the point where I was depressed with even friends. Even when I finally got the thing that I wanted, I was depressed. I was like, wait, why am I so depressed? Even though I finally found a group of close friends. And it turns out those friends were not as close as I thought they were, because I don't talk to them anymore. Most friends just go away. They just disappear. And I kind of realized, after so many failed friendships, I was like, what the hell is going on? I thought this friendship thing was better than this. And people are so unpredictable, and, things just happen, life happens. I'm not saying, I wasn't expecting to be friends forever, but I was expecting better than what I got. And I know some people will be like, oh, you just haven't found the right people. Listen, dude. I no longer care about finding the right people. You want to know what's funny though? I have a few friends, and I don't know a nice way to put this, but if I didn't have these friends, I wouldn't care. Because I'm at the point where I love my own company so much that I don't need people. Do you guys see this wonderful view? Do you guys see this? The wind is blowing in my face, the sun, the clouds, the grass, everything about this view is just absolutely lovely. I've been here for about an hour and 30 minutes before I even recorded this video. Literally, I've been here for that long, just dwelling in my own thoughts. And I didn't think something as simple as just dwelling in your own thoughts and just thinking what could be so fun. But you can't do this. You can't just, just relax and just be yourself when you're with friends. You always have to put on a performance. Even if it's the closest people to you, you still have to put on a performance, you know? And that's one of the things I kind of realized about human interaction. I'm not saying human interaction is pointless. I'm not saying it's, meaningless, because even I love human interaction sometimes. I like talking to my brother. I like talking to the few friends I have. There's people I enjoy talking to, but being by yourself is just so much better than being with others. That's what I kind of learned. If someone else was here right now with me, it wouldn't feel right. It wouldn't feel right, because I would have to put on a performance. Even if it's my own brother, I would have to put on some sort of performance, some sort of mask. And yes, technically I am talking to you guys, but technically I'm not as well. But YouTube is a bit different, because when I can just sit here and record, I'm actually being myself. With others, we like no offense to my friends if they ever watch this video, but they're always gonna find a way to kill the vibe. Like, hey man, you want to know that anime that we watched yesterday? You want that new episode of that anime? Hey man, that video game? It's like, I don't want to hear any of that shit, dude. I don't want to hear anything at all, to be honest, right now. All I want to do is just look at the grass, look at the clouds, look at how beautiful everything is. I don't want to sit there and talk. I don't want to talk. I do not want to talk. I hate talking these days, to be honest. Oh man. And some people are just too afraid to do things alone. Like, I know some people that wouldn't even be doing what I'm doing right now, just laying down on the grass, just chilling. They always feel the need to have other people with them. They're like, oh, but I'd rather have a picnic with my friends. It's like, your friends won't be with you forever, first of all. Second of all, friendship is not as simple as you think it is. Sometimes you really have to think about, you think about your friends and their motives. And the way humans work is that many of us have friends that we don't really, how do I put this? A lot of us have friends for the sake of just having friends, for the sake of not being seen as a loser, for the sake of not being seen as a lone wolf. Because society has pushed this narrative that if you don't have any friends, you're a loser. But once you stop caring about what society thinks, you stop caring about these labels that they give you. I don't care if anyone calls me a loser. I do not care at all. These cars that are behind me, which I'm not going to show because it's going to kill the vibe, low-key. Actually, it's not that close, but I don't even know if they can see me, but if they do see me, maybe some of them are thinking, wow, that guy's a loner. That guy's a loser. He has no friends. Why is he by himself? It's on a weekend, I mean, chances are they don't really care, to be honest. And that's another point I want to get to in a minute. But let's just say, in a hypothetical situation, one of those cars behind me, they look at me and say, look at that loser. He has no friends. Why is he talking to himself? Why is he just laying down on the grass? So what? As long as I'm enjoying my own free time, which I am enjoying my own time right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have not felt this much peace in a long time. I just found this place right now, to be honest, today. I'm just riding around on my skateboard. I'm like, ooh, this place looks nice. And my goodness, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. So as long as I enjoy my own company, why should I care about what other people think? They can call me loser, failure, whatever. I've heard it all, dude. Even from my own parents. Oh, you're a loser. I'm tired of it, man. Places like this, where it's just me, just the nature, just grass, just the sky. It's the only place where I can really be myself and I feel like I'm actually living right now. Like I'm actually living. I don't, nothing anyone says right now matters. Nothing matters right now besides the feeling I have right now. Work doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter. Bills don't matter. The future doesn't matter. The only thing that matters right now is how beautiful those clouds are, how beautiful this grass is. So if you're someone that is really insecure, right, and you're you don't really want to do things in public and do things alone because you're afraid of being labeled a certain way or being judged, just try this, man. Try this for a minute. Because no one's really even here to judge me, even if they wanted to. So I'd say start with some hiking. Start with just laying on the grass, in an empty space with no one around. And then work your way up. Go to McDonald's, and then after that, go to a movie theater, and then after that, go to a restaurant, like an actual sit-down restaurant. Like, stop caring about what people think. You only have one life to live, and if you're someone that has no friends, you can't wait for friends. You have to live life now. You have to do it now, dude. You can't wait for people to come in. I know some people only do things when they, meet friends. Oh, I don't want to do that. I need friends to do that. No, you don't. You don't need friends to do anything in this world. Do what you want to do. If you really want to do something, do it now, because, your opinion might change. You might be like, wait a minute, being alone is awesome. Hell yeah, it is. Oh, man, this is so amazing. And I'm at the point where being around people has gotten low-key draining. I'm not even joking. Like, ever since I learned about human interaction and just carefully analyzed it, I strongly dislike the fact that we have to put on a mask. I strongly dislike the fact that we have to act, that we can't be our genuine selves, because that's just human nature. I really dislike it. I really, really don't like it. And people have been telling me in my comments sometimes, you should do a collab with these YouTubers, other YouTubers that are in my niche that make videos similar to mine. And don't get me wrong, I like these YouTubers, I like their content, and they actually seem like pretty cool people. But I don't really have any interest in doing any sort of collabs. I'm not gonna lie, I'm never gonna do a collab, ever. And it's nothing personal, to be honest, because again, I love these YouTubers, I love their channels, and they feel like the most similar people to me, But the reason why I don't want to do a collab or anything like that is because even though we're really similar people, we have a very similar mindset, we're still going to be putting on a mask. And we're still going to be doing some sort of small talk, because that's all we really know. That's what human interaction is. Even those of us that are awakening and finding out, how messed up this world really is, and how, life isn't really all that, we're still going to be doing things like that, because that's just how we're wired. And, it is what it is. Again, it's nothing personal. I like, and I'm sure you people watching my videos, you guys know who you are. I love your channel, but, it's nothing personal though. But anyways, on to the point. Let me get up, actually. Let me just stand up and enjoy this view. I was low-key about to fall asleep. Man, nature is amazing, dude. Nature is amazing. I love being out in nature alone. I love it. It's the only place where I can feel like I don't have to act, I don't have to put on this performance. I don't care about how I look. I don't care about what I'm doing. I don't care about anything right now. I just care about looking. I just care about observing and thinking. Again, I was here, I don't know if I said this before, but I was here about an hour and 30 minutes before I started recording, and I was literally doing nothing but just thinking. And any sort of person that would be around me, even my closest friends, you could bring my brother, my friends, my mom, I don't care. They're gonna disrupt my peace. They're gonna disrupt my peace. This is peace right now. Any human being around me right now is gonna disrupt my peace. So, this is the place where I feel alive. Like, I feel alive right now. And if you want to get to the point where you think like me, where you really enjoy your own company, just start like this. Start like this and then work your way up. I can go to restaurants and, movie theaters, and I don't care about what people think. Because to tell you the truth, those same people that would judge you for, oh, look at this guy, he's going to a movie theater alone, he's a loser. Look at that guy, he's a loser. It's like, these people cannot do a damn thing without other people. They're so dependent on other people, and they do not enjoy their own company. It says more about them than it does you. And I actually used to be friends with one guy like this. Like, he couldn't do anything alone. And he would be like, oh, I have a lot of friends. And he would post on Instagram, his Instagram stories. And, you know, yeah, sure, I guess he had friends. But I really questioned, how legit his friends were. I really questioned it sometimes. And the crazy thing is, I don't know if I said this in another... Oh my God, I cannot speak. It's so cold out here. I don't know if I said this in another video. I'm so sorry about that. But the dude talks to AI when he's depressed because his friends aren't as close as he thought they were. Yep, not as close as he thought they were. And, you know, after all that talk about how he has a lot of friends and, you know, the fact that he can't do anything alone, and I stopped being friends with him because he seemed like one of those people that would judge people for being alone. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And one time he told me, he was like he looked through my chat messages. I don't even know why, but, you know, he was looking at my phone. I don't remember the exact scenario, but he's like, oh, you don't really have many texts. I'm like, so? He's like, how come? You don't have much friends or what? I'm like, bro, that's none of your business, first of all. That's none of your business at all. Second of all, things like this would used to hurt me. Like, they would used to make me feel insecure, but now I am not afraid of telling the world that I'm alone. I mean, if I were to be alone, because I still have a few friends, but like, let's just say my few friends disappeared. I don't care. I will gladly tell anyone I have no friends. I don't care, because I don't need them. I don't need friends. I don't need them at all. I don't need anyone in my life besides me. No one's gonna understand me the way I do. No one will. And most friendships, again, it's just through mutual interests. It's just, hey man, you play that video game? I love that video game. Hey man, do you like hiking? I like hiking. And, you know, sometimes it does get to the point where it's deeper than that, but I don't need it. You know, I don't need either of those, to be honest. I don't care. Whether it be just a friend I do activities with, whether it be a friend I'm closer with, I don't need any of them, because I'm my own best friend. I'm my own best friend. And it took me years and years and years to realize that I don't need actual friends. I just need to be my own best friend. And, you know, now at 23 years old, I finally found out. I finally realized that this is the way to live life. The way to live life is not to constantly, you know, seek validation, not to constantly, you know, try to make friends and stuff, because that's just not me. That's just not how I want to live life. Again, I don't mind interaction. I need some interaction, you know, sometimes, but, you know, being alone is better. I'm not gonna lie. Doing things alone is better. It hits different. It hits better. I feel amazing right now. Not even just right now, just anytime. Even when I'm home, when I'm just in my room, just doing my own thing, watching anime, playing video games by myself, doing my own thing by myself. It's really hard to explain until you get to the point where I'm at. It's really hard to explain how much better it is than constantly having to, you know, be around people that drain you. Well, not drain you, but be around people and then just have your energy drained. I don't know if this is just because I'm an introvert, or, I mean, probably is, but I don't know, man. But even then, there's a lot of people that are introverts that, you know, they always want to crave being around other people. They're too afraid to do things themselves, and it's like, man, oh man. Again, it takes time. It takes time. It took me a long time, but I'm really glad I was able to get to this point where I enjoy my own company. And again, the main things that helped me get to this point was when I actually finally got what I wanted for years, which is close friends, because I never really had that as a kid. I realized that, you know, I don't know, something about this seems very odd. I started noticing, you know, these peculiarities. Is that even a word, peculiarities? I started noticing these odd things about human nature and human interaction. And, you know, it got to the point where I was just like, this is kind of bullshit. And to be honest, again, this is gonna sound really mean, but I don't care about what people have to say anymore. I know that sounds kind of, you know, weird, but people message me and be like, oh, I just did this. Oh, I did this on my weekend. I did this for my birthday. Why should I care? And the thing is, I don't even feel the need to be telling people these things. I don't tell people what I did during my day because why should they care? I mean, they don't care. That's the thing. Like, people be like, hey, what did you do on the weekend? They don't care about what you did on the weekend. They only want to tell you what they did on the weekend. It's so annoying, man. It's the same thing about, what do you do for work, man? You don't really care about what I do for work. There's only two things that are happening if you ask that question. Number one, you're trying to judge me based off of my job. Number two, well, and yeah, you're also trying to determine how much respect to give me based off of my job. And number two, you want to talk about your own job. Like, this is the things I started noticing about human nature. Like, people want friends, people have friends, but they want it to be about them all the time. They don't really care about what you have to say, and they don't really care about what's going on in your life. They want other people to listen to your problems. You know, they want other people to listen to their problems. They want other people to just constantly listen to them vent, and they want other people to, like, how do I explain it? Again, they just want the whole thing to be about them. That's what I noticed about human nature. It's not equal. Friendships are not equal, man. Like, whenever you're, like, for example, when you're talking to a friend, right? You're like, I did this during the weekend. I did this. You feel good. You feel good telling people about what you did and what's going on in your life. But the second they start talking about what's going on in their life, it reverses. You don't feel that good listening to that. You don't feel that good. They feel good, but then you're just like, in your mind, you're like, yeah, whatever. That's what friendships are, man. That's what they are. This is why I kind of just would rather be alone. Well, not kind of, but I'd rather just be alone, dude. I don't know, dude. Like, and I'm in a tough situation where I only kind of realized these things after I already established a group of friends. By the way, if it seems like I'm struggling to talk, struggling to say things, it's cold out here, man. Like, it's pretty damn chilly. It's kind of affecting my speech, so it's kind of annoying. But damn, what was I saying? Basically, damn, I completely lost my train of thought, to be honest. But honestly, I don't really have much more to say, to be honest. I kind of rambled on too much in this video. You know, it's already gotten almost 25 minutes. But I don't really have much more to say. I was gonna say one last thing, and I kind of just forgot. So might as well just end the video right now. I know some people would be like, bro, what are you doing? You're not a real, that's not what YouTubers do. You gotta edit that out. I don't care. I do not care. And by the way, I also might have forgotten what I've said because I'm kind of on something, if you know what I mean. I'm just point at what I'm on right now. But yeah, I don't really care. People would be like, oh, you gotta edit the videos, man, you're a YouTuber, what are you doing, man? Dude, I do not care at all. I do not care about this YouTube stuff. I'll just record what I have to say and click upload. I remember one of my previous videos, I was riding a scooter and the cars were so damn loud. I'm like, after I finished uploading the video, I was like, wait a minute, I can't really hear anything. What the heck? And then I was like, you know what? Screw that. I'm gonna upload it anyway. You know, I don't really care. And then I got 10,000 views on it. Like, what the heck? Like, I don't really care. I'm not a YouTuber. I only use YouTube to document my thoughts, document, you know, my experiences. I don't care about editing. I don't care about any of that stuff. So basically, I'm just trying to be as genuine as possible. I'm just trying to be as genuine as possible because we don't really get much of that on YouTube. All we get is a bunch of people being fake and stuff, and you know, you guys already know how much I hate being fake. So I'm just trying to be genuine. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please click like, please click subscribe, and alright guys, take care. I'm gonna just chill out here for a minute. Alright, I'm gonna just wait till the video gets to 25 minutes though. sounds better than 24 minutes and 10 seconds. All right, that's it.